Hello friends, today I'll be demonstrating how to create a miscellaneous receipt using Oracle Fusion SOAP API. Since this functionality is not supported through REST API, our focus will be entirely on SOAP services. In this session, we'll walk through the following topics: creating a miscellaneous receipt using the SOAP payload. Then we'll see how to populate DFFs, descriptive flex fields within the API. Then we'll override default distribution linked to a receivable activity. And finally, we'll see or we'll explore the find miscellaneous receipt operation and understanding its payload structure. This will also help us actually understanding how to create complex where clause when searching for receipts.
The first step is to find the WSDL. We'll come to docs.oracle.com and you'll have to select financials. Come to APIs and schema and we'll select SOAP Web Services for Financials. Expand this and do the search on miscellaneous receipt. Okay, if you just scroll down, you'll find the WSDL name. So the server name is going to be replaced with your Fusion domain name. So just copy this one and paste it into your SOAP UI. So this is what exactly I did. SOAP, you can give the project name and you have to replace your domain name, Fusion domain name with the server name. Okay, so once you have done it, press the OK button and it will open up. So this is what exactly happened actually. In SOAP UI, there's a functionality. It also creates test suite, basically test cases for you. So, and if you see, there are 5 operations: get service last update, get entity list, get default object attribute hints, find miscellaneous receipt, and create miscellaneous receipt. Okay, so some of the attributes are non-mandatory basically. So I wanted to focus only those ones which are going to be required. So I've copied this in my Notepad+. So I've just copied that. I need only like amount, comment, currency code, deposit date, field date, receipt number. Org ID is nothing but it's your business unit ID where exactly you want to create a miscellaneous receipt. Receipt date, receipt method number, name is going to be important. Now, if you have 2 bank accounts associated to the receipt method, then you might have to put the receipt method and bank ID as well, bank account ID. Otherwise, it's going to be defaulted through receipt method name.
Next is receivable activity name. That's going to be playing vital role actually because your GL code combination for the expense account will come from receivable activity. Receivable activity can be assigned to one GL code combination, or you can have a distribution set assigned to receivable activity. We'll go through DFFs later on. Let's copy this payload into SOAP UI. I will execute. And once you execute, you see on the right hand side pane like what exactly error message you're getting. You might get error message, or you might get, so in this particular case, you're getting duplicate error. Now, duplicate error comes in when your receipt number, receipt date, and receipt amount all are same. If you're changing the date, it will allow you to create receipt. So I'm just changing the date now, and it should create. Okay, let's create now. Oh, sorry, like I changed the deposit date instead of receipt date, GL date. In fact, we should be changing the receipt date. So after you have corrected the receipt date, it will create. We see on the right hand side, the receipt will get created. And now we are going to be checking within Oracle Fusion how exactly it got created with all the details. So let's log into Oracle Fusion. Okay, so Receivable Workbench, and I'm going to manage receipts, and you can select your receipt number, the one which we created through SOAP UI. Okay, so this is the one actually which I've created, test 012, or test 0, sorry, 16. So let's query that one. Okay, you can see the tax account, everything getting derived actually from the receivable activity. And the comments which we have entered also getting passed on to the receivable activity. So this is assigned to only one distribution code. Okay, let's move on to understand DFF within SOAP API. Let me walk you through how DFF attributes appear in the SOAP API. If you look at the template, you'll notice it displays the tags for context-based DFF. Now, when context-based DFF is enabled, you need to include your context name, its value, and all related segments underneath. For miscellaneous receipts which we have enabled global data elements, which is why I'm showing those segments above the context-based ones. The segment name here corresponds to the API name you assigned when creating the DFF segments. In this example, we have created two global data elements. One is income type and requester, and we haven't created any context base. So in that case, like you don't have to include those tags. Let me show you a miscellaneous receipt and DFS screen to showcase actually how exactly we have created and where I'm referring API name. So coming back to the receipt screen, and go to setup and maintenance, and I'll highlight flex fields. Okay, and scroll down, you'll find the descriptive flex field enabled for this particular miscellaneous receipt form. So you can see there are two tags, and I'm just going into DFF screen, and you'll find there are two segments, global data elements, income type, and requester. We'll just open one of them. And the API name which I'm referring to, if you see, there's a field called API name. So this is the tag actually we have to refer in our SOAP API. Okay, let's go back and I'll show you the message payload basically, which shows you. Okay, I'll just open this one, and if you see, there are two tags which I've included, income type and requester. Okay, this tag should match your API name. The miscellaneous receipt derives its accounting from receivable activities. These receivable activities can either be linked to a single GL code combination or to distribution sets, that is, multiple GL code combinations. Oracle has recently introduced a feature in the SOAP API that allows overriding the code combinations defined in the receivable activity. This is mainly for the government organization. In this example, the receivable activity is assigned to a single code combination. Using the SOAP API, I'm overriding this and apportioning the amount into three expense buckets. The example is like my 1000 receipt amount is going to be split into three expense items, expense elements. One could be like 400 goes into one, 200 goes into another one, and 400 goes to the last one. Note that only the distribution is being overridden while the text elements remains unchanged. The apportioned amount is always applied to the net amount, that is after the tax is accounted for. So you can see the tags miscellaneous receipt distributed service, and it will have amount, currency code, and code combination, which is in string. Similarly, you have to repeat for multiple distribution code combination. So this is a receipt number which we have created, and the receivable activity name is going to be this one. And I'll show you in Oracle Fusion the distribution code assigned to this receivable activity. So let me log into Fusion. We'll come to setup and maintenance. Coming to receivable area. And manage receivable activities. We'll just query this one. Okay, you can see here there's only one code combination. It's not distribution set. Okay. Whereas when we create a receipt, it has ignored this particular code combination and created our distribution, dynamic distribution set. So this is my receipt. Well, I come to, okay, so this was the receivable activity, and I come to a distribution, and you can see on the distribution, it has a portion, but the tax was deducted first, and the net amount was apportioned. Let's understand how to find miscellaneous receipt. To search for miscellaneous receipts in Oracle Fusion, for example, by receipt number or combination of conditions, you can use the find miscellaneous receipt SOAP operations. This service supports advanced querying through filters, pagination, sorting, and selective attributes retrieval. Now, if you see, there are two tags, fetch start and fetch size. That is for the pagination. Fetch start defines the row number where the query begins, and fetch size specifies how many rows you want to get it written by the query. And this is useful when the result set is large and needs to be retrieved in pages. Now understand the filter conditions. Now you can see there are two groups, but you can have many groups actually. So you're combining your conditions into groups. So group represents a set of conditions. Multiple groups can be combined using conjunctions and or operators. So if you see, like, I've created one group which has got two items. Now within the first item there is a attribute which I'm saying I'm putting the condition as receipt number equals to path test 008, and then I'm adding another conjunction saying or, and I'm putting another condition saying receipt number equals to power for test 009. So that this becomes my one test conditions. Now if I want to have multiple combinations of conditions, then I can put into the group. So if you see here, another group which has got multiple items, and it talks about the receipt date, where it says receipt date greater than 1st of Jan 2025, and then I'm adding another conjunction called saying receipt date less than 1st of Feb 2025. That means it will evaluate the first condition first, and it will pull out the record, it will pull out the receipt number, but at the same time it will also validate the receipt date. It will validate the receipt dates if it is greater than 1st of January 2025 and receipt date less than 2025, then only it will retrieve the row. Understand attributes. If you see, there are tags called find attributes. By default, the response may include all attributes. To limit only few attributes to be returned by the query, you can add this tags stating like find attributes, cash receipt ID, find attribute, receipt number, receipt date, deposit date. What it means, it will retrieve
only these many columns. It won't show all the columns actually which are coming from the query. Okay, now coming back to the sort order, you can also sort in a specific sequence. Now, if your requirement actually to retrieve rows in a sequence using the cache receipt ID, you can do that as well actually. So you can sort, or you can sort by an attribute. You can have one attribute or you can have two attributes, and you can also put the clause called descending. Now, if you're not putting the descending, that's going to be classified as ascending. So in this particular example, what is it means? It will retrieve all the latest cache receipt ID first, and then it will go in that sequence in descending order. Now, I'll show you, if you execute the receipt, which the payload which I've created, you can see here it's not displaying all the attributes. It's just displaying only those attributes which are related, which are specified in that query. So since I've not copied that payload, let me copy that payload first. Okay, so this greater than operation is not there, so we might have to check. Let me. Okay, I tried putting ampersand. So for the greater than sign, you have to put this way. Okay, but it wasn't working actually like with this. So usually what happens is some of the date fields, Oracle doesn't allow you to actually put the greater than sign or less than sign. So what I'm going to do is now remove this greater than sign and put the between clause. Okay, and the date should be in ISO format, so it should be 2025 01001, and I would put another tag because I want to find the range basically. So okay, so this is going to be 2025 0201, but just copy this one, and this is what exactly I did in my clause. I put the timestamp as well actually. So if you execute this one, it will retrieve all the transactions. So what it does is it retrieves the first condition. It checks the first condition, validates the first condition, power-test 008, the power-test 009, and then it also validates whether the date is falling within that particular range, because we have used the AND clause, AND conjunction, and it will show you only those attributes which we have listed down. It's not going to list down all the attributes from the query. Okay, my session, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.